With a busy, active household, we don't have organized snack times where we all sit down and have a snack like you might do if you have a couple of little children. Snack time in that case might be some really great structure for your day, something that could add a little bit of routine and a schedule. I know when I had small children, I was really looking for something that would make the days go a little bit faster, something to look forward to. We do this at this time, we have lunch at this time, then nap, possibly a snack after that. Well, it no longer looks like that in our home. We do have young children, but we also have 3 teenagers and lots of school-age kids, preschoolers, so there's quite a mix. And what snack time ends up looking like for us is food that's kind of always available. I enjoy making some more specific snacks sometimes, but lately we have been in the season of life where we don't have time for really anything extra beyond the meal times. We are back and forth to the build site. There are still so many decisions to be made. It seems like every day there's something new to try to figure out. Plus, we had a really hard winter when it comes to sicknesses, just way more than we ever usually have. So when I talk about snack time in this video, this is going to be the realistic snacks that we almost always have around, even in very busy times. Now, the first one is sourdough bread. I showed myself making my typical sourdough bread loaf, which for me, my go-to recipe is 650 grams of hard white wheat berries, 300 grams of all-purpose flour. I find that just a little bit of all-purpose flour really does a lot to make it that crusty boule, that typical sourdough taste that we all know and love. I throw in some starter, I don't really weigh it, 650 grams of water and 20 grams of salt. And we always have that bread around. Usually, there's a half loaf sitting over in a Ziploc bag or something, or a loaf that we haven't cut into just out on the countertop. And everyone knows that they can go grab themselves a slice. That's what a lot of our snacks are. Just options available that people can reach for when they want them, and I like to have options available. We're definitely not about perfection over here, but I do try to make from scratch snacks and food as much as possible for my family to be nourished and healthy. I also like to invest in wellness and skincare, and that has me thinking about how important what we sleep on for 8 hours is. As a 40-year-old woman, I'm definitely thinking more about skincare these days than I have in the past. I have my little routine that I do at night to take care of my skin, but more important than that is what my skin touches throughout the night. I want to say thank you to Boll & Branch for sponsoring today's video. Boll & Branch is a luxury home essentials brand known for creating incredibly soft, high-quality bedding made from 100% organic cotton. It's important to me that my sleep environment is healthy since I spend so much time there, and also great for my skin, my complexion. The breathability of sheets and the temperature regulation are very important. When I first unpackaged these sheets from Boll & Branch, I was very impressed with the beautiful color, and I knew it would complement our spring bedroom extremely well, but also the feel of the sheets feel like luxury, hotel quality. They are so comfortable, they just make me want to sink into bed. Boll & Branch is more than just bedding, it's an investment in better sleep, comfort, and values that matter. Right now, Boll & Branch is offering Farmhouse on Boone viewers 20% off your first order by using my link in the description box below. You can also grab this QR code right here. Make sure to use the code FarmhouseOnBoone20. I love my new sheets from Boll & Branch. I find them great for temperature regulation, breathability, excellent for my skin, great for this upcoming warmer season, and so beautiful. Again, I will leave that link down in the description box below. We almost always have some food sitting out on the countertop, whether it is leftover cookies or pudding from a dessert that one of my kids made, or some pie. There's usually some kind of leftover sweet treat or even something savory from lunchtime around, whether it's in the fridge or on the countertop, and we're pretty relaxed with everyone just grabbing something when they need it, especially if it's a healthy option. Now, I do have in the top shelf of my pantry some snacks that I keep for when we are going to quickly go out on the go and I don't have any time to prepare anything, or maybe I don't have anything. But those aren't something that, is just you can grab it at any time, just free to take as much as you want. That's not how that is. But the food that's on the countertop, the bread, the leftovers, the granola, which I'm making now, everyone knows they can pretty much just grab that when they need something. So today I am making homemade granola, and I'm also going to strain off some yogurt to make it a little bit thicker, a Greek yogurt. I do this all the time. We always have yogurt in our refrigerator. I don't always strain it to make Greek yogurt, but I pretty much can confidently say that we almost always have about a gallon of yogurt in the refrigerator just because it is so easy to get going. It doesn't require hardly any hands-on time at all. And when I want some yogurt that is better in a bowl, even though it comes out pretty thick, I do like to strain it. The reason that I find granola easy and something that can always be out on the countertop is because I make the process just very, very simple. I'm not measuring. I'm using ingredients that we always have on hand. It makes it really simple. So I put about equal parts of coconut oil and honey in a large pot on the stove. This just allows everything to melt so we can easily coat the other ingredients. Plus it acts as a very large bowl to mix up a large batch of granola. To that, I usually add either walnuts or pecans, depending on what I have. I put them through the blender first, and then I add in some unsweetened coconut flakes and oatmeal. The goal is just to add enough oatmeal and nuts and coconut until all of the honey and the coconut oil is used up. Oh, I forgot to mention that usually with the honey and coconut oil, I will add in some cinnamon, maybe a little bit of salt and vanilla just for additional flavor. Now for the yogurt, I put it in a flour sack towel, hang it up, let the whey drip out, and then that yields a very thick, nice Greek yogurt without having to add any additional gelatin or anything to thicken it up. This is something that we can use for breakfast and snack time too. So if someone's hungry and it's still several hours until dinner time, or for me, I like this snack late at night because I'm nursing, I get hungry. I find this to be a healthy, protein-packed option. Another snack that we don't always have on hand, but we do find ourselves making a lot, especially lately, we're just in the habit of making these, are monster cookies. Now I have this recipe over on my blog, Sourdough Monster Cookies, so it does use some sourdough starter, which you could put it in the refrigerator, allow it to get those long fermentation benefits, or you can make it right away. I like it and find it to be a good snack because I use soft white wheat freshly milled in place of the all-purpose. I just sub it out gram for gram. It uses oatmeal. It also uses peanut butter, which is high in protein. Now, the recipe for monster cookies does call for colorful coated candies, which sometimes I will get those for fun, but not normally. Normally, I just do chocolate chips. I have a good source over on Thrive Market and from Azure Standard, so I keep us well stocked with simple ingredient chocolate chips and make these monster cookies pretty often. The kids really like them. I find them to have quality ingredients. They do have more sugar than some of the other options that I'm sharing today, but they are currently in our regular rotation. Anything here that I have recipes for, I will leave linked in the description box below. This recipe for sourdough monster cookies is over on my blog, farmhouseonboone.com. Ever since we started making them, they have become our go-to cookies just because, like I said, they have quality ingredients. The kids really love them, of course, and I can easily make them with 100% whole grain. I prefer to under-bake my cookies. They are warm, gooey, fall apart, delicious with a tall glass of raw local milk, which also helps to increase the protein and the nutrition value. I think you will love these in your home too. Another thing that has been a staple snack time in our house, especially in the afternoon when we used to have a dairy cow, we really needed to get through a lot of milk. That's when we started doing this. But now it's a lot of times we'll do it for breakfast or sometimes in the afternoon, just depending on if we're around or if we're going to have a later dinner. or if we're going to be out of the house for a while and you kind of got to load the kids up with calories and protein knowing that they're going to be not eating again for several hours. And that is chocolate milk. Now, this can take many forms depending on what we have, but usually we have all of these things around. We keep a lot of cocoa powder on hand. I never just buy one small little canister of it. If I'm getting canisters, I usually buy 2 or 3 to fill up this jar, or I will buy it in bulk from Azure Standard or Thrive Market or even Costco. Frozen bananas. So when we buy bananas, we buy many bunches at one time with the intention that we will freeze quite a few of them because I just love the creamy texture that it gives to smoothies and chocolate milk. A lot of times I'll add chocolate colostrum and occasionally peanut butter. Now I really prefer it with the peanut butter because it is just so good. But that'd be chocolate, peanut butter, banana, milk. But it has a lovely creamy texture. It's frothy when you use an immersion blender. If you want to make a larger batch, of course, you can use a blender, but we usually just blend it right there in the jar that the milk came in. Another snack that we do occasionally, I wouldn't say that it's always sitting around, but we do always have all of the things that we need to make it, is popcorn. For us, it's almost like an emergency run if we run out of popcorn. I try to get it from places like Azure Standard and Thrive Market, but if we run out, we will just get it from Walmart. We like to cook it in coconut oil. I find that has the best flavor, but we will also cook it in avocado oil if that's all we have. I try to avoid olive oil and butter. It tends to burn. And we almost always sprinkle it with the same stuff. Nutritional yeast, which gives it a cheesy flavor. I don't remember where we heard about this so many years ago, but it's something that we always have because it tastes so great on popcorn. Salt, I just have Redmond real salt. I liberally put it all over the popcorn. And I like cracked black pepper. You have to be a little bit careful with the kids though, because sometimes with black pepper, you'll get like a little bit in your throat and start coughing. Luke also sometimes likes to add that tahini or whatever. I don't know if that's how you say it. I personally don't prefer that. I like to keep it simple with nutritional yeast, salt, and fresh black pepper. Now, right now, we don't have a ton of eggs. We have some because we do have a dozen chickens in the backyard. But my sister has so many. So I get my eggs from her, and that's why they're all these beautiful green, blue, brown, different shades of brown here on the countertop. Especially in spring when eggs are abundant, they are a staple snack for us. But we really utilize them all throughout the year. I find myself doing more hard-boiled eggs in the springtime. I like to make them in the Instant Pot because if I don't, it's very difficult to get the peels off. But if they're in the Instant Pot, they just come off so easily. But of course, we'll do fried eggs as a snack. So let's say, for example, that we have dinner at 5 p.m. for some reason, which we usually don't. It's usually quite a bit later than that. And then we do a few other things in the evening. We put the little kids to bed early. The teenagers will sometimes still be hungry before bed. That's when they'll go in the kitchen and fry themselves an egg. We always have eggs. We always have butter. They know how to do it. It's a great source of protein, so it'll really fill you up. Get the job done if you just need a little bit of something before going to bed. This is something that we do a lot, and I'll do it a lot too. If for any reason the kids or Luke are not home or they ate somewhere else and I have to just feed myself, it's almost always going to just be eggs and some fun toppings. Another snack we rely on all the time is some quality cheese. I usually do raw organic cheddar from Azure Standard. If someone, usually a child that is a bit younger, a toddler, didn't eat enough at dinner time, or they're going to bed quite a bit later than we had dinner, they'll ask for some cheese, and I'm always good with that because it's a nice, healthy, protein-rich, perfect snack. This is our reality snacks right now as we are in a very busy season of life. I have so many snacks that I love to make, but these are the ones that support us well right now. Well, thank you so much for stopping by our kitchen. We plan to be in our farmhouse kitchen in our new build very soon, so stay tuned for that.